So I guess you are having fun so far. It's the last session of the day, and most probably you're going to be so tired and tired as well. So it's not going to take long, I promise. Okay. So the title of the session is a little bit long, so we will take it, slowly. Creating an enterprise-level editorial experience for Drupal 8 using React. So what does it mean? So, yeah. Let's start with the editorial experience part. So, a little bit of spam. Yeah, this is me. That's my Twitter handle. You can just send the comments and complaints to that. I will try to reply. I'm co-founder of Youpal, a digital agency in Sweden. I'm also running Drupal Heroes Twitter account, and I run out of stickers, but I promise I'm going to print more. Okay? But you can just send me requests. I promise I send them on the post. I also started the initiative Drupal Surf together with Floris. So the first one was in Drupal Dev Days in Lisbon. It was awesome. The next one is going to be next year in Spain. So if you are really into surfing, yoga, or some crazy shit, just join us. Even Adrian from Sotescu, an agency in Romania, he did his own surfboard that now is hanging in the wall in their office. So it was really cool. I work for 1x Internet, digital as a Drupal shop in Frankfurt, in Germany. They have a really cool team, and they're doing really good shit with React. That's the thing that I'm going to present today. So stop spam. Good. So let's start with a little bit of decouple. Now that the decoupling is being like a hype. Now a lot of people are talking about headless decoupling. So I've been talking about decoupling since 2013, where I did my first decouple project in Drupal 7 using the RESTful or REST module and the views data source module. Just with those two modules, I did a decouple application for iOS and Android. I was pretty cool. So since then, I did stuff afterward. So decouple is about multi-channel. So to offer a good experience for people, you have to post your content to different channels. Okay? So we are not building websites anymore because a website is something that you can visualize in, let's say, a browser, okay? But also we are doing any other things, they are not websites. So we are also sending messages over email, or we have other, social media platforms, or, even physical stuff that we publish, okay? So that's the thing. Nowadays, we use different formats to, push our content out. And we need to distribute the content to those different, touch points, let's call it, okay? Or channels. So also, we need to distribute the content across different devices. So right now, it's not only about a computer, but it's about, let's say, your gadgets, let's say an Apple Watch or this kind of things, where you consume data. So your smartphone, or as they presented, the guys from Studio presented just before, you use Internet of Things devices to consume data or to provide data, to produce data. So important thing is you need the speed, consistency around the different channels. So the message, lands or, is pushed to their recipients at the same time, okay? It's not good when you publish some blog post that is in the website, but for example, is not ready in your mobile app or something like that. It depends on your context. So it's important that the speed and consistency is, is seamless. So this is what we call a digital experience. As I said, we are not building websites anymore, so what we are offering is this. So we have a marketing platform, e-commerce platform, a CRM, or your social media. So all those dots should be connected, and they should interact with each other. Okay, this is what we actually should be building nowadays. No more websites. So we need to, focus on this. For that, yeah. So So how do we create these, let's say, seamless journeys where the visitors, land into one of our touch points and they go to the other until they are, let's say, converted in customers or they engage with our brand, these kind of things. So that headless or the coupling helps a lot, with this. So first, the CMS needs to serve multiple channels, and also it needs to be easy to integrate with the different platforms, scale, be high performant, and quick, fast, and intuitive for the users. So it should be easy to use. That's the part where Drupal is always failing. So a lot of people is comparing Drupal with other platforms because it's difficult to use. Let's say WordPress, okay? So that's one of the really pain points that Drupal is experiencing nowadays, and that's where I'm gonna just make more emphasis. So when you want to change something in your company, yeah, it can be produced a lot of pain, and it can be like crazy, because you try to replace, let's say that you have a e-commerce platform, you need to, improve the checkout, but for that you say, okay, we are going to replace the whole e-commerce platform. I guess that's not the way to do it, and also that's where you will find a lot of impediments from your stakeholders or from your even customer or whoever is involved in that decision. I mean, what we should try is to not replace the whole, but replace the small parts that are not working for us. Okay, so it's important to just find exactly what you're going to replace. Yeah, your internal stakeholders you should treat them like customers, and where internal stakeholders, we are talking about, let's say, your editors, okay, your product owners, or whoever is involved, whoever is using the platform. So you should listen to them, okay? Also, yes, align with the company strategy, the main stakeholders, and the content editors. That's important, because those are the ones using our platforms more actively, the ones producing the content that the visitors or the end users are going to consume, and always start small. As I say, don't try to over-engineer everything, don't try to replace everything, just take small steps and measure if it's working or not. So, editors, they know that there are platforms out there that they are really easy to use. Not only WordPress, but for example, Medium, for blogging, is starting to be really popular because it's easy to use and also it's effective. Or even BuzzFeed, or a lot of platforms out there that they're really user-friendly. So they expect the same for Drupal. So what's the problem with Drupal? Aren't we able to offer a platform that is competitive with other solutions out there? So why we are losing part of the market is only because we are not able to provide a good interface for our users, so they can, use it properly, and they're happy creating content with it, So it's like, aren't we good enough to offer that? Or is like Drupal is not good enough for that? That's the discussion that we are having right now, and it looks like we are getting into like a death end, because some people think that Drupal should be an API framework, just offering only an API, and then you will consume the data on your own with another framework or with another platform or whatever you want. Some other people believe that we should replace the whole user interface in Drupal and do something new with that, But in the end, I guess we are going to do exactly the same. We are going to use an interface that is consuming data from Drupal, because Drupal, what is good at is processing content. It's a content management system, and it's doing a really good job doing that. And it's really effective, and you need to build, complex data structures. So the thing is, when you want to use them, that's where we fail. A few samples. The good thing is there are videos, so I will shut up, and then you will see. I guess this should work. I don't know if this one doesn't have any audio. So what I'm showing here is just a common paragraphs interface where you can fill data. You can see that it's an endless scroll, you know, and yeah. So this is what editors had to deal daily, you know, when they need to edit content, like an endless scroll with a lot of fields, as you can see. Let's play the game because it's so funny. So you can see, so the interface is horrible, but apart of that, you don't really know. When you scroll a little bit, you don't really know what the hell are you editing, you know? So who built a platform like this already? Yes? Raise your hand, don't be shy, okay? We already are in the same boat. So yeah, it sucks, no? It sucks, yeah. Why we are building this? Because it's good. I mean, a lot of people likes paragraphs, it's nice. And the data structure is good. I mean, you can do a lot of cool things, but you know, it's not usable at all. Okay, but that's another sample. Media browser. This is a project. I don't remember. It was for a newspaper. So, you know, we have really good improvements in the latest version of the media browser and the media initiative. So this is a way where you can just, you know, consume media assets, you know, in a good way. So this is a good interface. I'm going to skip this one because it's kind of boring. This is a nice example of a page builder of, let's say, it's, you know, a good way for editors to build their own layout and pages. Oh. This is the one I had to mute. I'm going to explain why. Yeah, you can see this is Elementor. You can create this your own layout, opening this, let's say, third-party library, and then you can just drag and drop elements or widgets that allows you to create, you know, your layout and your page. More or less, as usually, we are building the same pages almost 90% of the cases, where you have, let's say, a background image, some background colors, some, you know, call to action buttons, some text, you know. But this is so easy to do, and it looks mostly like paragraphs, but in a different way, okay? This is already available for Drupal 8. It's called Elementor. There is a company just maintaining it, and it's based in paragraphs. The reason I mute the video is because I did this presentation in Drupal Europe, and when they try to upload the video to YouTube, it looks like this song has some copyright things, so the video can't be uploaded. So that's what I muted, okay? So I'm gonna unmute now, and then we can continue. Yep. Another thing, this is not a decouple. This is not a decouple solution, but this is an editorial experience thingy, okay? There's the content calendar. The guy that did it is Lucas, and he was in Drupal Europe.
Content calendar is a calendar view of basically all your Drupal content. You can scroll through the months. You can jump to a specific month. You can also filter, change the year view. And what's cool about it, you can add new content directly on the calendar view. For example, you can add content and you can configure your own custom content types with the plus sign here. So let's do that. Let's add a new note on the 3rd of October. So I hit notes, I fill it up, and I save. And yes, it will be stored in the specific date. And maybe now I decide, well, the 3rd was wrong, so I can drag and drop and reschedule any content I already planned or I already have. And if you look closer to the teaser view, what you'll see here is the image of the author. You get the name of the content type. You get the node title. You get the workflow state of that node, and you get editing buttons, delete, and duplicate buttons. So that's the calendar view. The 3rd tab is called Content Kanban. Content Kanban is a think about it like a to-do list. So you get all the workflow states as columns and all the contents based on the status. And you can move the contents between the states just by using drag and drop. It's very cool, very fun to use. So that's...
Okay, so have you ever seen this before? Yes? So this is another way of presenting content. I mean, instead going to admin content page, that it sucks a lot. So you can just visualize the content here, but you can visualize also the workflow, the status that the content is. The thing is in a draft, or it's in a needs review, or if it's ready to be published, or if it's in a published status. So the good thing is you also can move the content to different days, so it can be automatically published or unpublished. So this is a really fancy way to offer a proper editorial experience. So then with this kind of small things, we can just make Drupal suck a little bit less, okay? You know, I've been talking with Lucas, and he is really, really, you know, aiming for, you know, improving this even more, and just to, you know, providing even more features. So this is already in Drupal.org. You can download and go, okay? Another thing is this is a module that comes from the WordPress world. A lot of things, even the layout builder that we have seen before, that comes from the WordPress world as well. A lot of WordPress themes, they have already that kind of layout builder. And Gutenberg is an editor that, you know, some people say that it's cool, some people really hate it, because what it does is uses a special markup inside your content. So, but still, you know, that is cool. Let's have a look. So just click, edit. You have different widgets to select. Yeah, there you have these plus thingies where you can add a new widget. And you can just say, okay, I'm going to add a button. Yeah, and you just type some stuff. So more or less, this is like what you see is what you get for real when you are editing content. Okay. As I say, this is already available for Drupal 8 as well. There is a Norwegian company behind it, so, you know, maintaining the module and everything. Yeah, the thing is, just give it a try, take ideas from that, and you know, and probably some of your customers will love to have one content editor like this. And this is the X8, based in paragraphs as well. I'm gonna mute this one as well, if this has already copyright claims. So you can see on the left side that is where you just drag and drop the widgets, and every widget is attached to a specific paragraph, and they have a special look and feel that you can just tailor as well. So this DX8 platform is, I guess, it's a company from UK, the one that built it. Yeah, and it's already, you know, out there. So it's, as I say, it's based in paragraphs, so nothing new. I guess now it shows a little bit better how it works. So you can see that that's the page. And those are the paragraphs. So you can see that that's the, you know, how you just, with drag and drop, you just move the paragraphs around and you just edit your content. It's a little bit exactly the same, you know, paragraph way of, you know, editing, but with a little bit of improvements, you know, with the drag and drop thingy. Yep. Another one, this is OpenStory.io. This is from Soptescu, the guy that built his own surfboard in the Drupal Surf Camp in Ericeira, in Portugal. And this is Decouple solution built on Angular and with Drupal 8 as a backend. Actually, I don't know if this has an audio or not. So this is the dashboard where you control all the content that you have integrated with Google Analytics and everything. And this is the way you just visualize the content and how you just create content. This is an Angular interface. And just create your content in the Decouple interface and automatically pushes it into the Drupal backend. That's openstory.io, and that's another way of editing content. This is hacks. This actually is a little bit messy. I really wanted to show you because it's still active. I mean, the guys are maintaining it. It's a company from USA, and it just does, let's say, special markup, or let's say uses a special markup to inject the content into Drupal. The Drupal 8 version is available. It's still in alpha, but it works.
Students are going to be, whether that's a content management system, learning management system, what have you, and drag and drop my file and get asked, would you like this to be saved somewhere?
With hacks, since it's in one page, you can identify the things that you want to use. So if you want to use images, or if you want to upload a video,
those are the widgets.
The text or the transcriptions on the page, you can upload all those pieces easily.
Would you like this to be presented as a link or an inline PDF or whatever, instead of right now where you have, I got to go figure out where to place this file. I got to set permissions correctly. I need to know enough HTML in order to make it show up. All things that I'm going to be judged on if I'm a faculty member that I really shouldn't need to know.
They like it more just because they can be part of that process, whereas before some things were a little bit harder for them to use because they're not as comfortable with the technology. A lot of times once they were done writing content, I kind of moved on my own. We can kind of do this collaboratively, just because the technology is a lot easier to use. What used to take, say, 3 or 4 steps now takes 1, because it is all in that one kind of page format where you can select which pieces you want to use.
So we really ultimately don't want people going anywhere.
So I edited the video because it was long, but more or less you get an idea about how it works. So you have this kind of widgets that you just select, and it just access, to some special, let's say markup injected in the content. You can just see the whole video, and you will get an idea how it works. And they presented it in DrupalCon Nashville as well. We did an update in the module, so it's ready for Drupal. And when I presented this session in Drupal Europe, this guy approached me and he said, hey, you didn't talk about Glaze, so you talk about everyone but not about my stuff. So now I'm talking about his stuff, and it's really cool.
Drupal is a powerful CMS, but out of the box, it doesn't provide a great experience for content editors, designers, and marketers. That's why we created Glazed Builder, a visual page editor for Drupal 8 and 7.
I hope that this doesn't have any copyright. It looks kind of like Gutenberg a little bit, where you can add stuff around. Yeah, there you select the grid if you want to have, multicolor or whatever. Okay, the same concept is copied from WordPress, like a layout builder. They're in a few WordPress themes, so they are like bringing those ideas into Drupal. Still, probably you're not satisfied with the final solution, and more or less because some of them are like proprietary, okay? But still, it's a good improvement. Visually it works, and the users are really happy with that. The editors are going to be happier, okay? But still, a lot of work to do. So, what are the pain points when you are like trying to build a cool interface or a cool editorial experience? First thing is you don't want page refreshes. So every time that you are editing something in Drupal, you need to just wait for the page refresh, okay? So you visual node, then you go to edit, and then you just load the page. It takes time. All these kind of things. You want to save, and something is broken, So the idea is page refreshes are really something, let's say, old school. We have React, we have web components, we have a lot of cool technology to avoid these kind of things. So another thing is our editors spend a lot of time just messing with the WYSIWY editor, messing with the Drupal issues that they have, messing with that shit, instead creating valuable content. That's really expensive for a company. So we should try to offer a better tool so editors can create more content, more value for the company. Also, editors mean that they create better content, because when you are pissed off, you don't write good. That's another thing. And content is king. You can see nowadays, what Google indexes is your content, and your page rank is, and the value of your website, it depends on the page speed and these kind of things, but also in the value of the content. So nowadays is the most important part of a website. Who released a website? I mean, I guess we've been in the same boat. Who released a website where you just build everything was ready, but the customer didn't have the content ready? So what happens that? Like thousands of times. Yeah, I'm pointing to my business partners there because they know what I mean. So that's the point. I mean, we are really good at building websites, but the content editors are not really good at creating content. So probably if we make the applications, easier to use, probably we can also, fill that gap or improve. So yeah, that's another thing. So it's like it doesn't matter. I launch a website without content, and I guess it's still there without any content. So customer pay for something that is empty. So you can just offer a Ferrari that is, you don't drive it. You're gonna have it in your garage. So that's the real issue. So we really need to offer something, that our customers can use. Okay. Now we're going to go back to the Decouple a little bit. So this, in the Decouple, there are not pages. What we have is like let's say, we should be able to load a page with a single request, okay? Instead of having a lot of page refreshes, so you just get all your data in one request, and then you build your website. So the idea is the possibility headless is like it allows us to, to physically decouple like the content management from the content delivery and the content presentation. So those are the 3 steps, okay? And I have this table that probably is not easy to understand, but more or less differentiates what is a traditional CMS, more or less what Drupal was a while ago, with headless and decouple CMSs. There you can see more or less what is more, where the changes are more bigger are in the content presentation, So who is presenting the content? In the traditional CMS is the CMS, but in the headless is like a third party, and in the decouple is, you can just easily, render it with a server-side application or even by client applications. So I have a few demos. What about time? Am I running out of time or not? You didn't put this, so I don't know how much time I have. 15 minutes? Oh, perfect. But plus questions or without questions? No. Okay, then let me, if I can do the decouple. Decouple. It was decouple that 1x Yes. I clear my browser cache, and then now I don't know. Well, yes, sorry for that. Yeah, these kind of things happen. Okay, but I know the password. I guess it's some. Let me start again. What's this? Ooh, finally. Never. This is a decouple interface for building websites using React and JSON API and Drupal 8 as a backend. Okay, so I'm really bad at doing this demo because every time I mess it up and then I get stuck in something. So the first thing is this is a page that is already built. Okay, using the builder, and when you go here down, you enable the edit mode. That's why you have this edit thingy around. So that allows me, to edit the components. So let's say I want to edit this beautiful thingy. I press the edit thingy, and automatically I can just do this awesome demo at DrupalCamp. Yeah, it's double N, no? Yes. So I don't need to do anything. I can do some editing. Joe, don't get asleep. And I can press save, and it's already saved. I can even edit the image. So I can do a drag and drop as well. Let me see if I can find no drag and drop. Let me do it this way. And good example is, for example, this mood board. It has a lot of custom settings, so you can just improve, let's say, for 5 images or 4 images, and you have immediately a preview of what was going on. Let's say, I don't know, I want 3 images, and say, what? In this case, this is already, let's say, pre-match a specific styling. But you can do your own styling for them, But in this example, this is a mood board where you have, this kind of settings. But you can add more settings. These are fields of a paragraph, and then you can add more stuff. You can, let's say, add a headline of the module, hide it. And we can do like 5, and then you can say, oh, I want this one the first. Let me see if this is going to work. Yes or not. So just drag and drop, and then you have some, immediate preview of what's going on. Yep. What else? Okay, let's add a new thingy. So for example, edit the page here. Yep. And then you have the list of modules. Every module here, I hope that you can read this because it's not really good. Okay, every box here is a widget that you drag and drop. So let me choose one that is not going to break everything. Let's say this one, text. Okay, I just drag it, drop it. What it does is just creates a placeholder where I can, start editing. But before doing that, I have to save it. So I save the page. So it immediately stores this placeholder with the default data. And then I can edit it. So this is a new text thingy with some content and stuff. Okay, and I can put an image here as well to see. Is this good? Save, and that's there. Okay. More or less, it looks pretty similar to one of the demos, the DX8. That I show you, but we build this first, okay? And it's more awesome. Is that correct? Yes, it's more awesome. I can show you the backend if we have time. If I remember it was backend dash decouple .1x internet.de. Let's see, fingers crossed. Nope, I don't remember. Okay. If not, I will go to the other demo, don't worry. Yeah, I don't know. Yes. Dot cover. Yes. Oh, thank you. It's good that you are here. At least I remember the password. Okay, so quickly, this is a Drupal 8 installation, as usual. A structure, who knows this shit? Yes, we've been there, no? But paragraph types, and then you can see all the paragraph types here, more, you know, a little bit better. Accordion, blah, blah, blah. And for example, the one that I showed you, the mood board, you go here, manage fields, and you can see all the stuff, no? The title, whatever, the tags. If it's locked, that's another thing. That the layout, you know. So you can see that. And let's say that I want to create, you know, the old-fashioned way, one of the pages, or better edit is much better. Let's say I want to edit this one. This is what we've been talking about. So now we have to scroll a little bit, and you have to find which one is the one that you want, and you want to drag and drop stuff, or, you know, let's say, as I did, drag and drop the images, then edit. Now it takes a while until it loads. And I have the images here. There are these items, and then I don't know really which image I'm moving unless I, you know, open this thingy. You know, this is the big improvement. So instead of doing it this old-fashioned way, we are doing it in a, let's say, modern web development, you know, approach. Okay, this is the first demo. Big applause. But the second demo is going to be a little bit more awesome. Okay, it's a little bit buggy, let's say, because you know, we fixed it, let's say, in a quick and dirty approach, because I didn't consider, or I was not optimistic enough to have it ready for this camp. But Martin helped me a lot. You know, and I code a little bit of React. That is super cool, and now it's working. So first, let's go and show the meat. That is drupal.org/project/editable. The module is called Editable. What it allows you is to edit stuff in Drupal. Let's say the quick edit, but on steroids, or the right way. Okay. So it's already there. Martin released yesterday, as you can see. He wasn't partying, so he was working a lot. So he released the Alpha 6, and I guess we probably, by the end of the month, no, for DrupalCamp Belgium, probably we can have a stable release, okay? So I show you what it does, and we can just talk about the code later, or tomorrow we can just sit down a little bit, okay? After Martin's workshop, we can just talk about this thingy. So the idea, what it does is, it allows you, you know, this is a Drupal 8 installation with the Umami profile installed, with the default content and everything, okay? And what it does actually is, like, it allows you to, when you just go to an article and they say, I want to edit the title, just click. Still needs a little bit of tweaking of the styling to make it look better. But when you click, what it does, React does, is change the, you know, the title with an edit, like an input box, where I can just add stuff. And I can edit this article saying, like, this is super cool. Ain't it? And then I just, even though you haven't seen it, it's already safe. And the way to prove it is I just refresh the page. Because we were trying to make it work like when you click out and then it looks like this, but it is safe. And to prove it again, I can go to Edit, and you can see that it's saved, okay? And we can repeat, or we can do it even with these ones, because as I said, it's buggy. What it's doing is replacing every title field in the page with this reactive component. So if I click here, you know, it does the same for this one as well. So I can just do DrupalCampPannonia is awesome. It's awesome. I don't know how to write now. Awesome. Oh, what the hell? Yes. And then let me refresh the page. And it edited this one. Okay. Now it's like I can't even access this. Little bit of nerd stuff, how this works. Let me do it this way. So we inspect this. I'm going to make the font a little bit bigger now. Let me mess with this. Is enough? Or maybe a little bit less. Yeah, good. Yeah, this is the thing. What it does is the module itself injects this thingy, the data editable attribute. And what it does is just put a lot of stuff interesting. That is the type of the entity, the bundle, and the UID of the entity. Because when you do the post request from React, what it does is just updates that entity. And this is from Quick Edit. So that's all. This is the only thing that you need in the data editable, these three things, type, bundle, and the UID. With that, you just update the entity with the new stuff using a React component. It also brings some cool block. That was your choice. Right now, it only works with title fields. But as I said, by the end of the month, hopefully, I'm going to make it work with the rest of the fields of the umami content types. In this case, article and recipe. So it should work with the body, image, and tags. Yeah, and with the recipe, with the rest of the fields for the recipe. So you will be able to edit the stuff just clicking and. Okay? Good. No applause. No impress. Yeah, let's take the rest of the time for questions, or you want me to show you again something, or a video, and then I can just shut up? Yeah, we have questions there.
It's looking really good. My question is, how do you envision all this in-place editing when there is a content moderation included in the whole story with, for example, a complex workflow like 3 or 5 states or something like that? I guess every change will trigger entity save, which will probably create a new revision. So how would that be for somebody who is supposed to review the content and then publish it?
Okay, let's show you. This is the one that I did it, okay? The revisions are not here. You can see the revision, this one. This was the first where I mistyped something, and it was the previous one. You can see that it automatically creates a revision, and this is the last one, okay? The second part is how this plays with the content moderation. I assume that you should be responsible of, checking if this user is allowed to edit this one, and let's say that it's published, and when it edits it, let's say that you automatically put it as a draft, not published anymore. I don't know. The content workflow, you are the one deciding, Not a lot of customers are requiring a content workflow, so you only need published and unpublished. And it's your criteria, to unpublish every new revision, or I don't know. But I don't think that it's going to be complex to implement. More questions? I know that you want to just get rid of me and go to the party, so it's cool. You can ask me questions later, okay? Cool. So let me finish then the presentation, because I have just a couple of stupid things still. So how the JSON looks like. Yeah, in this case, it's a React component. I can show you the code here. It's a little bit messy, but. Yeah, exactly. In the backend, what you use is a JSON API. So you just have the JSON API payload. So it's a standard Drupal JSON API. Does that answer the question? Okay, got it. Okay, let's do it this way. So we go to network, And we do this, some edit, and let me check what is the request now. Here. Yeah. JSON API. This is the data that you sent. Wait. Response. Response or the... Scroll down here. Okay, got it. Perfect. So this is the data, how I do this. Yeah, got it. So you have the entity ID, that is the unique ID, and you just have to provide the entity type and the attributes that you are editing. In this case, we are editing only the title. So previous title and the one that you want to edit. I assume that's correct? Good. Don't be shy. You can ask difficult questions. Martin is going to answer all of them. No? Yeah, it's, you're asking if it's in the DOM. It's here. Yeah, you have permissions. So I mean, this unique ID, even though you have it, you can just send a post request, and if you just configure JSON API to don't accept it unless you are an logged in, authenticated user, then nothing is going to happen. It's going to give you a 403 error. So I don't think that this is a security breach. And I guess you get the UID from different ways as well, not even exposing it this way. You can get it. So right now, this is for editors. You have to be an authenticated user and with permission to edit this kind of content type. Actually, if you're logged out, this doesn't work. We were checking it, but actually it's not working. Let me log out. And then I go here. I view the article, and then I click here. It doesn't do anything because it's not loading Drupal object, and it's not loading at all even the component. It's not here. So, yeah. More annoying questions? Kidding. We can check it out later together. Not later, but tomorrow, like Hanover coding. So I can show you the code, and I can show you how I wrote my own, React component. You can do it, and anyone in this room can do it, I'm pretty sure, So, yeah. And the idea is complemented component to support more fields, Good? Impressed? Or just?
Thank you, Ruben. We also have a gift for you as well.
Yeah, I have a few slides still. Sorry. Wait, quickly, okay?
Another demo.
It's not going to take a lot of time. Which one?
Okay.
This one. Sorry. Quickly, okay? Under the hood, as I said, is Drupal React. We can call it React or Drupal. And this logo, it was made by Martin. It's so awesome. We have even t-shirts. So JSON API as well, and probably in the future we will use GraphQL, who knows? And learn more tomorrow with Stefan Weber, or one of our colleagues. He's going to present more the couple stuff. It's a React Native application with e-commerce. It's super awesome. It's early in the morning, so be careful. And the workshop that I don't know the time, but Martin is going to show you how to get started with the same workshop that he did in Drupal Europe. You can go to this link and see more details and the requirement or whatever. Don't miss Drupal Dev Days in Transylvania next year. Done. Woo.
Thank you. just wait to take the photo.
Yeah, you're right. The present. Thank you.